Well, Caleb was very professional. After I got your letter of interest, he was very professional, met me out on the property, did a total survey of everything, the yard, the outside of the house, inside of the house, and we sat down and went through some particular details. And then he came back, I guess, after meeting with you and your people,
Right.
with the initial offer, which had to be adjusted, primarily because the decision was made after the fact that the majority of the homes that had sold in that immediate area, not just the subdivision, but the immediate area,
Right.
that had basements had fully finished basements, whereas the one in my rental house was not. And so with that decision, obviously there would be a little more expense that you guys would have to deal with. So it was a good experience all around.
Good.
But I think the thing that was probably the most beneficial to me was that he came to do a site visit, put his eyes on it, put his hands on it.
Right.
Most of the other places don't do that.
And you had mentioned that to me earlier, and that way at least I can share with some other people what your experience is with other investors or wholesalers, and then coming to us, what the difference was.
The biggest thing was the two contacts I had. It was people that were doing desktop. Their offers were not even anything I would consider, and very unprofessional. I mean, when you're just talking to somebody on the phone, you're going to do a desktop study of a property and then offer a price, but you're not even going to go to look at it or even check out the neighborhood it's in. No. Does it? Many people say it's the old-fashioned way. No, it's the way you do business, and the way you do business is face-to-face, not phone-to-phone or fax-to-fax.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
I agree. And that's one of the things that I really try to push the team for. Obviously, when we're first talking to, let's say, yourself, and we're trying to get as many facts as we can about the house, then it's like, okay, now let's go do our research. Before, we waste your time and waste our time, let's go ahead and figure out about what we think that we can offer. If it still makes sense, now go back out and continue the report building, shake the hand, check the property, and confirm what you guys have already discussed, or okay, that's not at all what we've discussed, because we've all seen different types of things, right? And then make the adjustments accordingly right then and there, but you still should be making sure that you're figuring out what that seller needs.
Sure.
What's the purpose, what's the reason why they're selling? You know, let's get down deeper. Instead of you just saying, I want to sell my house, there's a reason why you want to sell the house.
Yeah.
So we try to serve all of our sellers and figure out what it is that they need first, and then if it fits our criteria and we can still serve them and take care of them, and it fits our criteria as well, let's get to the closing table.
Well, I had owned this property, as you know, a little bit over 13 years.
Yep.
And with the plans that my wife and I have now, good timing.
Yeah, that's perfect. What are your thoughts on what we should do as a company, and are there some changes that you would say that you think that we should make for the better?
I think that stay on the path you're on right now.
Okay.
Don't try to branch out too much, too quick. Make sure you got adequate personnel coverage in all the key areas.
Right.
You always want to keep that personal touch. I don't care how big you get or how specialized you get. That's what's going to separate you from every other Tom, Dick, and Harry running around saying, I buy houses.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Good.
And the other thing is, with that personal touch,
Right.
you can build a trusting environment, and that's what you got to have. There's been too many scams, too many horror stories we've all read about.
Yes, 100%. And that's exactly what I'm constantly trying to inform the team, like every day, every week when we have our meetings, let them know, hey, you're there to serve the people, be transparent. I don't care if we screwed up somewhere, let them know that we screwed up and the reason why, what happened, okay, here's how we're fixing it, now moving forward, this is what to expect. So I always try to let everybody know, like, there's no sense in lying, there's no sense in being, ashamed of what it is that we're doing, because you're not doing anything wrong. But as long as you are open, transparent, trustworthy, and you can, kind of have that really solid relationship with the person, then you can almost always overcome any kind of hurdle.
Well, there's an old saying that I was told by my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She lived to be 87 and a half years old. She said, Billy, she says, you tell the truth and you'll never have to worry about anything.
Yep.
Because truth is truth.
Yep.
That's it, man.
Well, cool. I appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks so much.